Welcome back to another video from the NACLAC Class Help Desk team, and today we're going to begin by looking at searching in class. And here we go, we've logged in, and at the moment we're sitting here on a conflict search and sort page. There's a couple of ways of searching, and you can see a bunch of them here in the menu. Now, to get to this menu, of course, you need to be clicking class, and you can, for example, search for the services or search for the clients. Two main ways. You can also search critical dates, and essentially this same format comes up over and over again. Conflict checks are slightly different, and you'll notice there's another layer. Let me click on that. You see this is called the search and sort system that we've created. Here we search for conflicts, meaning for people, and then we can sort them below the line afterwards. Above the line, below the line. I'm going to do a separate video on conflict checking, so if you want to know all about that, check that out. But even so, what I'm dealing with in searches still applies, especially in this sort function down here and how that works. So let's take an example. We'll start with services, because essentially you get a bunch of options here, probably too many options on this small screen, but you can customize which options are there. But just to give you an idea about where to get started, we might want to, for example, begin with searching for a service type. Let's go for advice. I just type that in and I'm pressing the enter, and I'm seeing that I've got a real lot of hits here. I've really got to tailor it down. Perhaps I need something more about the last name or first name of the client, for example, things like that. So let me show you a few things about tailoring it down. Let's maybe add something here. We'll just make that Smith and add it again. Now, you see what's happened here is that advice has stayed and we've added Smith in the last name. So it's just given us now all of the advices and names in Smith. But if we want to start again, we can just go down to the corner here and hit clear, and that will start again. So over here, we could go last name and go maybe Smith. I don't have to do a wildcard anymore. In Silsys, you need to do, I can't remember if it was an asterisk, I think it was, and it'll catch everything by SMI, meaning any other things that come after that. I can just hit go, and it will still catch the Smith, the Smithies, in this case, the Smith Joneses, and all that. So that works with all these fields as well. You can also, once you've found what you want, you can sort by different things as well. Now we can see here, in this case, we've got the Smiths because I put in last name, but now I've got all the different types of service types. We've got legal advices, some representations and things like that. We can click on this to sort it by, for example, legal type. So in alphabetical, it will put all court tribunals first, then dispute resolutions first, etc. And that's because I just clicked this top one here. So if I wanted to sort by, say, client type, I could do it, or any other in sort of an order, like a service ID. I can click, and all the ones that is found of Smith, it'll put them in order, 200, 210, 248, etc., and it'll keep going up. And it's saying it's pointing up. I can actually click it again, and it'll make it go down. See the arrow? It's saying now reverse order, and back up. It's now pointing up, and it's putting it back in order. So that will work numerically, but with numbers, or it would also work alphabetically as well. So we can say alphabetical, all first names, and all the amount is at the top. I'll just add for the record, this is all dummy data, so nothing to worry about here. So you'll see there's multiple hits here. We can go to multiple pages and come back to, so it obviously just went over the page in this case. You can go to the end of the page if you've got 200 pages, or you can flick along each page on the inside there. So page 2, page 3, page 4, if that was the case. Next, I want to mention the filter builder. I've decided to do a separate video on this, but you can get to filter builder, a more advanced search mechanism, by clicking down here in this blue link here, and it brings up many options. Go and check out the other video. But there's a couple more methods I just want to show you as well. Back to Smith. We've searched the Smiths, but there's this one, the little sign here. If I click on that, it actually gives us all the service types are available to us, and we can just say, I only want the court tribunal. So in that case, if you're not exactly sure what something's called, but you know you've got lots of things, we can just tick that and press OK. And now it'll filter it by that, which is what we ticked. So that's fairly kind of cool to do. Once you've actually found someone, we can now go, this is a service search, of course. This will take us straight to the service. You can see it's blue, so it's linkable. And this is the service ID. So it'll take us over that service. I'll do that in a second. Or alternatively, you may want to actually go over to the client in this case. And so that will take you direct to the client. All right, there's another thing that you can do that's pretty nifty and tricky as well. We can actually customize these fields, and that'll stay the same while you're logged in. And we can do that by clicking this customize and customize columns. And you can clear that if you've done some stuff that you don't like. But let's show you the example. And here we've got a bunch of extra fields in this case. Things like matter ID, which is a legacy field from Silsys, or the service result, or sometimes like file number. Some of you might even like to choose keyword. I'll show you what that does. We're just going to flick that up there by grabbing it and mousing and putting it in. It's added that field, so we can now search by that. Some of you may not want, oh, this is sort of too much width and things. So I don't know, the client type, and I can remove that here. And I can remove, say, other name. Wouldn't advise that, but I'm just trying to show you that this gives you more room along the top. And if you're doing something over and over again, you might want to adjust that to your needs. Okay, a couple of little detail things here. We can actually select this little button next to the Smith or that window, and it actually gives us a couple of other things. You can say it begins with. Well, contains is the default because that's the most usual one. You might want to say, don't give me the Smiths. And then there's other things like ends with, or equals, and doesn't equal. Now, all these are explained in much more detail over in the user's handbook. If you're not familiar with that, go over to Confluence. You should have your own login there by now. And you can click on that user's handbook, that little triangle. And in the glossary, you can just look up any of these in much more detail, or check out what's going on at the searches overview page. So I'm going to leave it there. Chris DeBro signing off.